Middlecoff, we got to talk about Brandon Aiyuk.
Big game, baby. Big game.
Before we do that, here's a reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's this. You're here. And give this video a like.
Also, check out our podcast below in the description.
Well, you're talking about this, the idea that you should just accept the fact that there is luck involved, where you work, where you get drafted, who your parents are, right? Brandon Aiyuk is a San Francisco 49er and not on some other team. Now, there were some teams that would have worked out, but he had his breakout game when they don't. It's easy to look back at the Niners-Giants game and go, they blew him out, no biggie. I was pretty comfortable, but it was 16-9 when Aiyuk took over. 3 catches, 39 yards, and a 19-yard touchdown run, and that made it 23-9. And it was like, okay, this is exactly the guy that Kyle Shanahan envisioned this guy right here in this moment, and we got to see it.
You know what play Kyle loves his wide receivers to run? A pretty basic slant route, and then have the juice to break a tackle or the speed to run by guys.
Yeah.
Because he'll run that play. One thing with Kyle, he will run plays over and over. And there was a moment on the broadcast that Joe Judge, who was it? It was Moose and Burkhardt. I was like, thank God we got a solid crew here. It was easy to listen to the game. When Burkhardt said that Joe told them, you wait the first couple series with Kyle, and then you know where he thinks your weakness is. And the first series, what did he do? He ran an end around to Brandon Aiyuk, and then he did it again. So he thought, well, they're fucking slow and pussies on the edge. That's what he thinks, and Aiyuk can be his chess piece to get it. And then he started running as the game went on the slant side Aiyuk, and Aiyuk was either breaking a tackle or had enough speed to get easy first downs. He's kept feeding them. And I would say I was thinking about this today when I was watching Aiyuk excel, and obviously N'Keal now plays. Like, say one thing for Arizona State, Bill Belichick and Kyle Shanahan have believed in their 2 wide receivers. As Kyle said it after, and you watch CeeDee Lamb, he's a physical guy. Like, it's pretty clear that Aiyuk to them was their type guy. Like, they wouldn't want a Judy type. Like, we talked about this when he was drafted, blocking, physicality, things that ultimately I think Aiyuk's going to develop into, kind of has some Debo to him. Like, he's just, I think in theory, a faster Debo. People were texting me, is Debo faster? And I was like, well, Aiyuk is dealing with a hamstring. I doubt he's 100%. They think Aiyuk is a fast player. I know in training camp he was really fast. Today he looked a little more possession-y. Like, not slow, but he doesn't look like Henry Ruggs out there, right? Or Jerry Jeudy. He's not flying.
Although I do
his
think
play speed was fine.
So, and we talked about him. If you go back like ages ago after the draft, we did a Brandon Aiyuk YouTube video. We go through a lot of his highlights. You watched him a ton. I watched him a ton.
Wasn't that one of our first big video? Got like 30,000 views.
Yeah, it was. I actually, for someone who watched every snap he played in college, think he looks a little smaller on an NFL field. Maybe it's because he's wearing 11. But I did think one thing is clear with him, and we thought this coming out, that he is a run-after-the-catch guy. I thought everyone talked so much about him being like an over-the-top big play guy coming out. And this, to me, is more what he is, right? Like, I felt like, am I wrong in remembering, like, everyone was talking about like he's a big play over-the-top game breaker, which, in theory, if he's as fast as they think he is, yeah, maybe he is. But I think what you saw from him against the Giants was that those guys can be, they're all or nothing, right, if that's your only skill. So yeah, maybe we will see him be some of that guy over the top. But this is so much more useful on a play-to-play, quarter-to-quarter, game-to-game basis in the NFL. Now, we saw like the Raiders without Ruggs. It really hurt not having him. But to me, this is the essence of Brandon Aiyuk, is you just get him the ball and he goes and makes plays.
Well, remember what Golden Tate became with the Lions as like just this consistent 80 to 90 catch guy, led the league in after contact yards for like back-to-back years. And it was like Golden Tate resurrected his career and became just like not quite a Pro Bowler, but like a high-end starter that just
Did the Eagles trade a second for him?
It might have been a third, but he was going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
Might have been a second. No, it was a third because remember he had a walk-off touchdown. It was
against
like, well,
the Bears,
I
remember, yeah.
So, like, to me, is Golden Tate, like peak Golden Tate, not kind of what he is now? I think Debo and Aiyuk are kind of that level of player. We're doing a lot of stuff between 10 to 20 yards downfield, breaking tackles. I don't think you're going to see them trying to think of, like, speed demons I saw today. I guess there aren't really that many, like, super speed guys in the league right now. There just is a lot of Keenan Allen's, Devontae's, Michael Thomas's, like Aiyuk deep, like you can kill it in the NFL by just working 20 yards at max as your routes. Like because it's hard enough when you have speed demons to hit the deep balls, right? It's a unique play to begin with. And I think as fans, and I remember we had a stat a while back on like how many career passes Deshaun had hit over 50 yards in his career. And you think like, oh, he's hitting like 7 a year. Well, it's actually never like that. Like you even watch like the Cowboys. Like it's hard in Seattle's doing it probably the most right now.
It's their quarterback though. Yeah. And their receivers. It's a combination.
And it's DK. And Tyler deep threats. I mean, they got 2 deep threats. And their quarterback. Does he ever miss a fucking deep ball? I mean, honestly,
he missed one today. Yeah. Which shocked me. To DK actually.
Was that the underthrown one?
Yeah, it got broken up. Did it have a chance to get picked? Probably not, but
you're going to need – I think that's a good – like when you watch the Rams and all their wide receivers just scoring touchdowns, and you watch now DK and Lockett together just fucking making plays, you're going to need Aiyuk to be good and Debo to come back and hit the ground running, and then Bourne is just a solid third guy. Like that's, in theory, should be pretty good. If I can get Aiyuk to produce, Debo to come back and be really good, if I got multiple Golden Tates and Kendrick Bourne, you're fine. Like you don't need to have a Julio Jones, right? Look at the Bears. As Foles bringing him back, they're throwing it to Miller and Allen Robinson. I don't think either one of those guys is considered like a superstar, but if Allen Robinson's on that fringe, kind of the way I described Golden Tate. Actually, last year he had like 95 catches with Trubisky.
Trying to get himself traded.
I think he is just really good.
He had a sweet touchdown Sunday.
Yeah, he's legit. He's better. I mean, it's unfair. Debo has played 1 year. Yeah, but he's that type player. Breaking tackles, right? Working over the middle. Just doing sweet shit. Non-running go routes. Like, I don't think, guys, like you're saying with Aiyuk, he's not going to be running go routes.
But the other thing, he plays for Kyle Shanahan, right? So how many catches is that worth? I don't know. But it's worth something. It's worth a lot, right? It's worth a lot. It's why, like Dante Pettis. That's why we've given up on him. It's like if Kyle Shanahan can't figure out how to use you in 2.5 years.
Kitty cat.
I saw somebody suggest a John Ross for Dante Pettis trade today. I like that idea.
I'd say no if I was the Bengals.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even like John Ross.
Whoever suggested it threw in a pick. Like it was the Niners and it was Dante and a pick. And I was like.
Did you hear Moose when Dante Pettis came in to like run a fake jet sweep? He's like, whoa, we haven't seen Pettis today. Like, they clearly probably just has some jabs in these coaches' meetings. Like, yeah, you just can't figure it out.
Well, they probably all ask because on every broadcaster's board, it'll say, like, 2nd-round pick. They'll be like, oh, so what's up with Pettis? Is this the game he gets loose? Right? People ask that, I bet. Like, you think he gets loose today? Do you have a package for Pettis?
If Pettis was a 6th or 7th rounder and had the same role these last several years, his name wouldn't come up, right?
Right.
Like, as a broadcaster or the player calling the game, that 2nd-round pick, you go, wait, it was pick 30-something? Yeah, I mean, it was really high, or 40 or whatever it was. It just jumps out. Like, why does this guy – and especially when you go, well, they need – their wide receivers are all banged up. Why can't this guy contribute? And the simple answer, I think we know. I saw one game of Brandon Aiyuk just today against a terrible Giants game, and he is infinitely better than Dante Pettis. And that's what's crazy about Dante Pettis is every guy that comes in, they're just immediately better. Trent Taylor, boom, immediately better. Like these guys just play, they can just
first down catch.
Yeah, just
in fairness, he's a real. I mean,
yeah, he's played in the league, but it's just Dante Pettis can't. Is Dante Pettis out of the league? Because Aiyuk just comes in and is way better.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. I forgot watching it. It was only Aiyuk's 2nd game, like you said, he has the hamstring. But you're right. I watched him once to know he fits.
Yeah,
he'll work.
I think. I thought he looked a lot like Debo, just playing.
See, he looked small. He looked like.
Well, I don't mean physically. I just mean the style of play is going to be. They're going to, and maybe it's just because, well, John, they're calling the coach is just running the same routes. He's playing Debo's position, right? They're probably, if Debo was playing, they would run that slant for him.
But I
think Kyle's going to see like he does this well too. I can run it to both of them. Maybe get a little sluggo. I love a good sluggo, slant and go.
I just clearly, whatever Kyle thought of him, he sees that it's going to work.
Yeah.
He put it on film this week. Now, is Debo back next week? Well, like to me, that's where it starts. Is it Debo plus Aiyuk plus Kittle plus Garoppolo? Right. I don't know if Debo might not be back this week.
I think he hinted at that he was hopeful
He's
he
gonna
would be able to
practice.
practice this
Yeah.
week. I think you can see it come together. You go Aiyuk, Debo, and Kittle. That offense looks and Mostert. All of a sudden,
And
you're
like Bourne's
damn,
reliable. Right.
that's a pretty good offense, right?
Yeah.
If Mostert's healthy, Kittle is a star, Debo solid, Aiyuk rookie but talented. Use check. The O line's fine. Trent Williams just tosses people.
It's just all guys you got to cover.
Yeah.